As always,
Thank
a fantastic atmosphere in the Crucible Theatre. And what a session of snooker we could be in for this evening, Willie.
Dennis, it was very tight this afternoon. I don't see anything different happening this evening. Goes without saying that Judd has to make a good start, because Bingham could run away with it in this first mini session. Judd will be trying to win it 3-1. Stuart will be trying to do exactly the same. As I just mentioned pre-match in the commentary there with Ken, the last two frames of the afternoon session were huge for Judd Trump.
You know, I detected a little smile there in Stuart's face as he stood back at his seat. He really is enjoying himself out here. He's waited so long to get to the one table setup, and he's enjoying every second.
Not the best of safety, but he's covered the red with the blue.
And it's awkward with the black situated where it is. No way back down the table because of that black. That was all Judd could do. Not often you see Judd play that type of shot.
Touching ball.
Well, touching ball helps Stuart. He can put the cue ball anywhere he wants now. Try and prevent the escape route down the right side of the table. Looks like the same shot again, which is very unusual, but that's simply because of where the black's situated.
There hasn't been the barrage of big breaks I had expected in this match, but virtually every frame has been 50 or above virtually every one. So what that tells you, they're needing two chances, and now at this level you don't normally get two chances. That's a better safety shot. And with the fact that the red sprung away towards the middle pocket, I'm sure he won't risk running into the pack this time.
Definitely advantage Stuart at the moment with his safety exchange. Judd's got a problem again. And look at that magnificent Crucible Theatre. Well, that was difficult. Almost pulled it off. That would have been a great shot, but the double kiss has spoiled it, and the first chance goes to Stuart.
Yes, as Dennis said, this was very close to being good. Just a fraction thicker, and that red would have sprung off the cushion quicker than it did. And the fact that it hit it very, very thin, it had no pace. Stuart's faced with 2 or 3 reds to get onto colours here. This is the one he's playing. He could have played reds into the middle pocket as well, but played for the black.
1.
Well, if he takes the black, it would have to go on to the pink spot, looking at the situation there. been so solid throughout this year's Betfred World Championship, it has to be said. What an achievement that would be, Willie. 20 years a professional to lift the world title at that stage of your career.
Absolutely, and I really loved his interview after beating Ronnie O'Sullivan, where he broke down and cried and said he'd been striving to get into this one-table situation. That was his goal. Now, of course, his next goal will be to win it. It's definitely possible. He's one of the game's best players now.
15.
And the man waiting in the final, Sean Murphy, will be relaxing this evening. He has played superbly well. And he will take some stopping. And it's 10 years since he lifted his world title.
$16.
Of all the players in the game, Stuart Bingham plays in absolutely every single tournament, wherever they are, worldwide. Judd Trump misses a few of the PTCs, but Stuart just loves playing snooker.
Yeah, he's won all these events the other side of the world. The Australian Masters, 2011. That was his first ranking tournament. Then he won another
23.
major ranking tournament in Shanghai, and his 4 minor ranking events, all in Asia as well.
He's just one shot away from making this an opportunity to win the frame. And of course he's got to get in the middle of those reds somehow, whether he'll play the cannon off the cushion here, or whether he'll try and get in. He's too straight on the pink to play any sort of kiss. He may decide to screw back off the cushion and just try and get in between the gap of those 2 reds that are just to the right of the pink.
Mind the cue power that Stuart has. I'm just looking at that angle there. He could maybe force it through and come into the reds. So he's got, well, there's only 2 choices. You screw back or you follow through when you're almost straight. And it's the screw back that he's playing.
He's given himself a little bit to do here.
29.
Cue ball needed to be a little bit further off the cushion than this, but it's still on.
He's come just too far. This time he wanted to be on the yellow because the black is away from the reds. Not easy to pot the blue and open the reds, but he's come a little bit too far. But you will have a chance this time to see the cue power of Stuart Bingham. Just watch the action he gets on this cue ball. How's your luck, Stuart? It's pretty good. If he's straight on that red to the left corner, the only
32.
problem is, can he get on the pink for the right corner? He's not straight. The only problem with this one into the left, we showed you the angle there. He'd be going into the red next to the pink, you would suspect, from the position they're in. He made that look easy.
Very good shot. And in playing it, he nudged the pink into play, but he may have put that red back on the black spot. Now, he'd like to kiss into that red just to get it out of the way. Just a little half-ball kiss would be nice. He'd still have choice of reds in the left or right-hand pocket. Doesn't need a full ball kiss. He needs to clear the spot, otherwise he may tie both pink and black up. That's why he's moved the red away from that spot.
And this is the key shot coming up, because he'd cannon into the reds there. Every chance he could finish on the black here if he doesn't get onto the pink.
Mm. 40.
This is going to be a test of the cueing. Tight on that cushion. Difficult to judge when they're like that. So the first real test in this break. And he's opened all the reds up. Okay, there's one gone on the cushion, which will be of benefit to Stuart with a 40-point advantage. But this is a key shot.
Yes, it looks like the red just below the black would pot. But he's going to have to play this really slow to get on that. I just wonder with a 40-point lead whether it might be better trying to put a ball colour safe. But these players are very attacking. This pink you'd probably pot 8 out of 10 under this pressure, but at 2 times you miss it could be very costly. That was always the problem.
Stuart Bingham, 40.
Well, he was so close to this. He did cue it nicely, but a chance for Judd. As I mentioned before, that red near the cushion is going to be key in this opening frame of this evening session.
Needed to be straight on these 2 reds, but he's not. I don't know whether the red is nearest to or past the pink into the corner.
7.
It doesn't, so he needed to be 2 or 3 inches higher.
It got such a margin for error there. Anywhere near the big circle, and the 4 reds were available. He just underhit that.
And the shot he's playing on this red, he's going to have to negotiate the path between red and black, which might not be certain. Where's the black going? Where's the black whistle going to? It's okay.
8.
Unfortunately, knocked it relatively safe for a left-handed player.
Well, he hit that so well. Most players would have
13.
gone between the green and brown, but he is so good at that type of shot.
14.
Going to be a tense opening frame, this, by the looks of things.
19.
Yes, 3 reds and 3 pinks now. He's 21. That puts him all square. So both those reds on the side cushion, still to be pretty pleased they're both there
20.
at the moment. Can Judd Trump move one of them into play at some stage?
$26. 27.
Well, Judd being a left-hander, the reds that are near the cushion on the right side of the table for him couple of shots time, he might be able to play in between those two reds. That is amazing.
Judd Trump, 27.
He was way ahead of himself there. He was thinking about the two reds and how he was going to move them, and you cannot take your eye off a pot, no matter how easy it is.
And that middle pocket, Dennis, in this match has caused havoc with him. In the left-hand middle pocket, he's been okay. That must be about 5 balls he's missed in that right-hand side pocket now.
And look at the angle he's left himself on the pink. He can move that one that's near the middle pocket. He can just flick that down the cushion and put it on. Is it hard enough? It's not.
Seven.
Safety shot looks like now. And our statistician just told me Judd has missed 8 balls in that right-hand middle. Oh,
Foul. Stuart Bingham, 7. Judd Trump, 4.
dear. So the fact that Judd's missed 8 in that middle pocket, he will have to start playing him in the other middle pocket, but he'd be delighted to have got back to the table only 16 points behind.
Not a very good shot from Judd there. In fact, Stuart can see enough of the red to take the pot on. And the white will be heading up towards the black. And he might have to play with a little trace aside.
Bit risky this time for Judd to try the cut, but you never know with this young man. Oh, this is a poor safety shot. Goodness me, Judd. You've got to play better safety than this.
This red goes past the blue. There you see it. And now you don't. And a perfect angle to come up past the pink with a bit of side. Worth having another look at that one. How does he play to move this final red? He's unlucky. And now he's target. If he can play a cannon onto the yellow and send the pink
6.
across, every chance he can get a snooker. Because if he just hits the yellow and gets the red in the right place. Just looking to see where he would leave the red, but well, he's going to send the red and leave the white this end.
Stuart Bingham, 6.
There isn't any reason I question that shot is because there's a slight chance now that Judd can bring the yellow into play. So Stuart may have missed a trick there. You know, your shot, Dennis, would have certainly been more advantageous that time.
Foul.
Well, that's a free ball. That's everything. I mean, I thought he
Stuart
could
Bingham, 4,
send the red
free
back
ball.
up the table and move the yellow there. He tried to flick the red onto the yellow. And that's virtually, well, 26 the difference. A free ball, the blue will be 1. That'll be 27. So he's going to need that red next to the yellow to clinch the frame.
Blue ball.
Can he play it slow enough to do a nice angle on the brown? In which case then if he does, he can bring the red into play, and as it's not, he may decide to take the black this time and then play a safety shot. I suppose he could finish inside the yellow there and get onto the red, but it would be dangerous because if you hit it bad, you snooker yourself.
Well, as long as he pots the black. If he can't get on the red, he could play a snooker in behind the yellow then, but he's got to be a little bit careful with this black. You see, he's coming around. You see where he's pointing the cue? If he can get the white out to there, he can then screw in behind the yellow and get the snooker. Hasn't hit it hard enough, I don't think. No, a little smile on Stuart's face as he walked around the table. He knows he underhit that. With 34 in front.
8.
If he had left the angle he wanted, he could have had Judd in all sorts of trouble.
Got to make sure he misses the green if you're playing this red up and down. Has it gone
Stuart
past the
Bingham,
middle?
8.
I think it'll still cut in, but the problem is Judd's got to get on the black. So if that red had pulled up a fraction before the middle pocket, he could have done that. Now if he cuts this in, he's going to have to go all the way around the table and back up again. And don't be surprised if he doesn't try that. But watch the cue ball if he takes the cut on. Oh, that's end of frame.
One.
He just won't go away, Stuart Bingham. He's going to open up a 3-frame advantage again. He really is playing very solid
6.
indeed. Doesn't matter about missing that. I think Judd will stay in his seat. Yeah, he just
6
nods
on the
to the
frame.
referee. He badly needed this opening frame, but it's Stuart Bingham that's taken it. And as I said, he opens up a 3-frame advantage again. It's 14-11.
Bingham needs 3 frames more, and we've been talking about the anxiety levels, the tension levels for both men out there. How is that anxiety manifesting itself in Judd's game for your money?
Well, you miss hit safety shots, you don't get your position right, or you miss pots. You missed the pink in the middle pocket. A couple of safety shots where he loaded up with side spin, he missed it very badly, and he does seem the tenser of the two.
Yeah, and Ken, we were talking about the fact that perhaps Trump was the man expected to beat Bingham here, despite the fact that Bingham sent Ronnie home. He's higher ranked in the world, and he has a UK title. He has a pedigree that Bingham doesn't. Is that playing its part?
Maybe the expectation is weighing too heavy on his shoulders. Maybe he thought this was his best chance. You know, that a lot of people didn't give Stuart Bingham, you know, a great chance in the semi. The way the both players have been playing, but particularly the way Judd Trump has played right through this championship, and maybe it's just starting to weigh too heavily on his shoulders. He looks, as long as he doesn't panic, don't make it easy for your opponent. He's just given that game to Stuart Bingham very, very easily.
Are we going to see a charge from Judd Trump, because he needs one right now?
Judd Trump to break.
He certainly does, Hazel, and I totally agree with Ken. His safety's just not been good enough. I'm going to quickly say why this little bit of safety going to take place. That Jimmy White's birthday today. If you're watching Jimmy, happy birthday. 53 years old. Still battling away. Hopefully he'll be back here next year.
Oh, that was a bad one. And I think there's a red to the left of the bunch. Judd's looking at it. Can he see enough of it? And can he get through onto the black? Tight.
One.
couple of shots time, he can get onto that black. He'd love to pot this red and blue and get on the red to the right of the black, and then he could open things up. That would be his plan.
4.
The alternative is to pot the blue and go straight into the pink, but well, there's two choices for him here. He could even cannon into the left of the pink, where the reds are situated here. It's just how he feels. Whoa! How's your luck here? Great round of applause, but look where the pink has finished up. Gone onto the side cushion. A couple of reds making the black difficult. The black's still available, but that's that middle pocket he's missed 8 shots into. It's not a great chance yet. The reds open nicely, but the colours are not perfectly placed.
Yeah, when you go into the pack at that kind of speed, you know, you're obviously going to be pushing reds towards the black, and that's what's happened there. That's what's causing the problem. Either of the two reds that are on at this moment in time to the right of the table there, he could
15.
possibly get onto the black. Not too sure whether he can off this one. Excellent shot. Use the red to screw back off.
16.
Choice of bought colour.
As I mentioned, it looks as if the black's available into the right corner. There you see it, but it's just the way he's dropped on the red. It's not straightforward to roll it in for the black. Played it with lots of side.
20.
It looked like it was a straightforward shot, that, but lots of left-hand side to make sure he didn't snooker himself on the black. Just about okay.
27.
Little gap there.
28.
I think it's important that Judd makes a sizable contribution here just to get his confidence back.
Not in control of the cue ball at the minute. He wanted that to be a couple of inches further. That's why he's had to play the little cannon into that red to hold it. He'll have to go for blue or bought colour this time, though.
35. $36.
He needs to be virtually straight on this red, and he's not hit it hard enough, but may still be able to get onto the black. I mean, it's too dangerous to pot the red and flick into
41.
the two reds and get on the black in the same pocket as potting the red. That's why he's looking at this alternative red. Just hasn't got the pace at the minute, Judd. He's just finishing that 3 or 4 inches short all the time.
Had to play a cannon, but as long as you keep potting them, he's having to work hard because he hasn't had the white exactly as he would like it. This is where he's got to
49.
concentrate 100% now. He can get onto the black again for the same pocket.
50. And no time during this break, Dennis. He's been able to get an angle on the black to move those two reds out, and he's on 57 and counting. That's what we're talking about when he hasn't quite got control of the cue ball yet. Now, top side of the blue then. Now, and he may play the cannon into those two reds. I know he's got a loose red.
Well, he doesn't really need, he only needs the one red, the loose red, will he? So.
Yeah, I've just misread the scoreboard there. You're quite right, Dennis. So that's virtually frame ball now, this one.
63.
It's a great response from Judd Trump. OK, he's ran out of position here, but he won't mind that. Stuart Bingham will stay in his seat.
71.
There's only 59 on the table.
Well, could he be trying to cut this one in to try and make a century? It looks like he's looking at the potting angle.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, will he? He won't be playing a safety shot. 71 in front.
Well, Bingham might come back to the table if he misses this. Not too sure that he's got the angle to cannon into the two reds, but he can certainly get onto the one in between the blue and the brown.
Well, he did have that angle that you mentioned, Willie. There's been 76 centuries in this year's Betfred World Championship. Judd's had 8. I think
80.
Sean Murphy and Neil Robertson were on 11. I'm not sure if Sean got to 12.
Played the little cannon there, and knowing that it hit it hard enough beyond this red, he's not quite on it nicely.
It really would need a JT special here if he was going to keep this break going. So let's see. Pot the brown, off 2 cushions, move the red. No.
Well, what a shame the break from the but more importantly, he's got a foothold in tonight's session. He lost the first frame, he's won the next, but still trails 14-12.
Well, it was a very interesting situation in the first frame this evening. Stuart Bingham found himself 40 points clear, and the cue ball finished here. Watch him, he's trying to cue this off the side cushion and pot a pink. Don't blame him in the slightest for taking this on. It's a very attacking game. He just caught the jaw. Now, many people say to me, I don't know how to play off a cushion. What do you have to do? Well, the first thing you've got to do, ordinarily where you hold your cue would be somewhere here. You need to move up the cue just to shorten it up and get more compact, have a bit more control. The next thing is when you put your bridge hand there, make sure you've got enough cue. Don't get your bridge hand so you've got no cue to come back and through. So at the back of the cushion, like so. And also make sure that that finger and that thumb have got a little pinch in them and they're just raised slightly so you can just do a downward strike. So all those things together, and make sure you choke your cue, obviously. I've had 3 goes of this and knocked all 3, and you can guarantee this won't hit the jaw. OK, pinch it slightly, come back, and I put it in there, missed. Something like
that. Well, he was one of the greatest. He used to be one of the greatest from off the cushion. He'll need to go and practice, will he?
He shouldn't have set our potty 3 on the trot, though, Dennis. Should have before that one.
Thank you. The 27th frame. Stuart Bingham to break.
Meanwhile, back in the arena, Stuart Bingham breaks off, and well, the red has tied the black up, so there's no value in Judd trying to pot this red into the right corner. I still think this is going to be a fascinating session of snooker. He's still 2 behind, but I think it's going to go close. advantage Judd now in the safety exchange. He might try and open the reds here. Well, he did, and it was a good effort because he got a good cue ball. He was hoping to scatter the reds there.
At least what he has done is brought the pink into play, which means now that there's a high value colour in play. The black's out of commission at the moment. Stuart can just see the red just to the left of the pink and can get back into baulk from that one, but he'll be opening reds. We say it many, many times, whenever you're playing this kind of safety shot, you have to miss the kiss on the baulk colour going back.
This could open the black up, the red he's playing down the table off, if it's the one he was pointing to. No, he played off the bunch, and it looks pretty good. Just coming up a little bit short.
Well, has Judd spotted something? He just probably looking to see what would happen to the reds when he plays his safety shot.
Has he hit it hard enough? He might have got in behind the yellow, but he needs to block the other red. He may have blocked the one over the pocket. He's blocked both of them. Problems for Stuart.
Once he's left the red over the pocket though, Dennis, a little bit fortunate to have got the snooker, and at first glance he can't play a plant onto anything. Of course that red's in the way that's nearest the side cushion to play the swerve.
There is a path back down the table off the right side of the reds, but he'd have to be very precise. If he does play down off the reds, he's got to get somewhere back to where the cue ball is now, otherwise he'd leave the possible plant on. Well, what's he eyeing up here? I'll tell you what, to judge that was superb. You won't see many better shots than that.
Well, he played one of the shots of the championship in getting out of the snooker this morning, when he arced and hit the yellow. But that was really great, because I mean he was in all sorts of trouble there. I mean Judd Trump would have been sitting down thinking, well, I'm bound to get a chance now. He pulled one out there. I wonder if JP will try that in the room at the Intel.
No. Missed it.
Stuart Bingham won.
Did he just take his eye off the pink there, just concentrating on the cannon? He hasn't missed many like that, Stuart. Had to concentrate on the cue ball as well there.
Sure.
Got a bit of a heavy contact there. Yeah, they're a little awkward here. You just can't get down and pot the black and cannon those two reds, because the pink would snooker him for that one to the left of the pink, and so that's why he's giving this a little bit of thought here. Might just have to, yeah, just play for the loose red at the moment. Not the best. You wanted to be further out into the table than that. So there's still a little bit of tension in the Q arm, but that's understandable. 14-12, semi-final of the World Championship.
Yes, he underhit that shot by 2 or 3 feet. He's looking at the plant, but only to send the cue ball back at the book end. And if the plant goes in, it's a bonus.
Judd Trump 8.
You see, even that shot, Willie, he's underhit that, so he's, you know, just lost a little bit of rhythm at the moment.
Yes, in that break of 88, the first 60 points, he was never in control. OK, he kept potting them. But you can play yourself into rhythm. We know what a fantastic tournament he's had so far. He's just not played at his best in this match. That's because Stuart Bingham has been putting him under pressure all the time. And this is another reason Stuart Bingham's safety has been a lot better than Judd Trump's.
That's a pretty good shot, but there's a couple of escape routes for Stuart here. You can come off the reds to the right of the black with a thin shot. There's a gap down the left side.
Well, there's a plant at the back of the pack, but Stuart can't get to that plant, so he's got to be a little bit careful when playing this safety shot. He doesn't leave Judd a chance to play red onto that, so he's got to be a little careful with this safety shot. Oh, he's moved the plant though, so that's looks to have a very good white as well. Excellent shot, good reply. At first glance, I can't see a path back into balk. You'd think playing the left-hand side red and just leaving the white on the back cushion would be okay, but Stuart may be able to play the one nearest the black spot if he plays that. Just coming round to have a look now if he leaves it the white on the top cushion. Can you see anything then to get back into balk? I can't see anything at the moment.
Yeah, you'd have to be so careful and would need such a thin snick if he was to try and do that. He did well to find the gap there. Excellent. Oh, the flick on the green. Yeah, once he flicked the green there, I think everyone thought the white was going to drop in.
Well, you have to give Judd some credit there. We've just been saying his safety has not been up to scratch. That was one of the best safety shots of this match. Excellent.
No, listen, when he beat Ronnie O'Sullivan in the World Grand Prix, Judd, his safety was superb. His all-round game was absolutely fantastic. And he's given Stuart a bit of a problem here. When you're right in the jaws of the pocket, it's not easy to catch a red, to get back down the table. It's so easy to just catch it thicker than you intend. And he's hit it too thin, you see. When you're in the jaws of the pocket, it's so difficult, and this is a chance now. Well, I say it's a chance. Yeah, he can get through to the red that's near the left corner. So that great safety that Judd played previously has given him this opportunity.
One.
I think he potted that in the side of the pocket, and that's why he's lost the cue ball a little bit. Now he's faced with a tricky pink. Should have been straight on this. This was it. Just watch the red. It's gone in off the left jaw, which give the cue ball a little bit more pace.
But even so, you'd have thought it would finish a little bit closer to the pink. Timing is not quite right at the moment. And the red on the cushion is causing him a problem. The natural angle in potting the pink is going to kiss the red on the cushion, but he can screw the pink in and miss that red.
He's going to play the safety shot. So Stuart, well, I bet he can't believe he's back to the table so soon.
Judd Trump, 1.
After he played that poor safety shot.
But even if he's worried about the red, why not just pot the pink and risk getting the double kiss off the red? Just bring the white back into play. Really surprised he refused that. And he never refuses anything normally.
Everything must be covered into the left corner. That's the reason Stuart played that shot. They're all blocking each other.
That's a better shot than it looks. Didn't get the white on the cushion, but I think he's snooking him on the potable reds anyway, down the left-hand side. Oh, is Bingham covered with the reds up? I don't think so. I think he's hampered though. The browns come to his rescue.
Well, I just detected Judd just looking away there as if to say, how has he finished there? I mean, it's missable now, that red that's on for the left corner. But if he hadn't been hampered, he would knock that type of shot in. Well, 9 times out of 10. And And no easy path back down to the safety area. The blues blocking the path. And he's back looking at a plant. There's a little bit of distance between the two reds, and he's no easy safety shot, so he might be able to. Let's have a look at it. It's going to the left side of the pocket, but because there's a bit of distance, he could make this. Well, I'll tell you what an important plant this could prove to be. And he's on the green. I'm going to show you the plant again. In one of the earlier sessions, he missed a green identical to this one, but not this time.
Just wonder whether that's the buzz he needed. He was so disappointed when he came to the table that Stuart Bingham had got a half-ball kiss on the brown, left him hampered. The fact that he's pulled off that plant that Dennis spotted, that could really change his demeanour now. No, he's not got into that cue ball again. He's still on the pink, but not the way he would like. Pink. Just put a little cannon to the one just above it to hold the cue ball. Now, is he okay? If he's on the red nicely here, that's undoubtedly a frame with an opportunity. 19 points in front. Reds everywhere, pink and black in play.
12. $19. $20.
Judd has proved it that he can do it under pressure. He did that against Ronnie O'Sullivan in the UK Championship. He looked all over and he battled his way back. I think he was 9-4, 9-5 down and came back to 9 each. So
27.
we know he can do it when it's called for.
28.
He almost stopped in his tracks there. He thought he'd just flick the red, and if he had done, the cue ball would have slowed up. He wouldn't have been on these two
34.
reds.
$35.
Well, it's starting to get very interesting now, isn't it? And it started with a plant. And it was a very good plant
42.
that he did make. It wasn't in a direct line for the pocket, but it looks as if it's going to give him this frame.
$43.
Well, he knows now that he's just going to have a one-frame advantage, you would feel. He'll be getting himself ready for the next frame. $58 ahead. So a red and a colour would be enough
50.
to leave Stuart at the snooker's required stage. Oh, he's got a kick. He has had a horrendous kick. Well, that
Judd
is
Trump,
amazing.
50.
That is incredible. He only needs the red. And have a look at this. Wow. Sometimes you can't get your breath at this game. Everything was going along nicely. He's clinching the frame with one visit, and then that happens.
Well, Stuart looking to bring one of the safer reds into play because he's 58 points behind. I don't blame him for that at all. They could play the pot by the yellow from that red nearest the blue, but he decided to bring that red into play. So if Judd Trump's next safety shot is not good, Stuart would have a chance to clear in one visit. So it's good thinking.
This game doesn't have to test your temperament. The referee would have already been getting the balls up for the next frame. Judd would be one frame behind, but because of that horrendous kick, you'd think he's still favoured for the frame, but we know what Stuart's been doing. He's pinched a few where he's been behind and cleared up.
He's in an awful lot of trouble, isn't he? He'd love to put a red safe, you know, just risk playing a safety shot to put the red out of play, but you can see how disappointed he is. That's really aggravated him, that last shot. And Stuart's played such a telling safety shot there.
Yeah, you can see enough of the red to the right of the blue, but I mean, if he takes the pot on into the corner, he could leave the one next to the pink. But sometimes when you're in that amount of trouble, you're forced into trying to pot a ball, and that's exactly what he's going to do. What a roar if he knocks this in.
I think he's trying to cut it in, Dennis.
Well, yeah, if he can see enough of it, he will.
Stuart Bingham 4.
Well, would you believe it? He's pulled off an incredible cut into the middle pocket, but have a look at this. Well, you could stand there for a year and not pull that shot off again.
Settle down now, please.
Well, if Stuart knocks this long red in, which is not guaranteed, it's a tough shot. But if he does, well, he's changed his mind.
What an unbelievable last 2 or 3 minutes we've had. 2 bits of unforeseen pieces of bad luck.
Well, is he back looking at the pot again? He looked at it, changed his mind. He's back looking at it. He knew that was a big shot. But look at the position. He was right on the black, and he was very close to knocking this in, but it'll be a very relieved Judd Trump, because had he have lost this frame, well, I don't know what would have happened.
The late great John Spencer came out. He said, well, he should never complain about luck until the frame is over. So he's had 2 pieces, the most unbelievable pieces of bad luck, but could that end up being good luck? Because it's forced Stuart into playing the red, and it's ended up winning the frame.
7. Yeah. 8.
Well, you just sense that this semi-final is going to go all the way, and I'm sure Sean Murphy's probably out with his family and friends having something to eat, but he'd like this to go to a deciding frame.
15. 16. 22.
I wonder, will Judd just clear up the conventional way, or will he give us a few of his
23.
magical little shots? He may not. He may just clear them up and forget about the naughty snooker.
30. 32.
Oh, well, I knew he'd have to put one in. Might put another one in here as well. Let's see how he gets on the blue. Yeah, just the boring way.
39.
Now watch this shot into the corner and all the way around the houses.
44.
Well, it doesn't matter about that.
Judd Trump 44.
Judd had nearly a break of 50. He got an unbelievable kick. It nearly cost him, but in the end, Stuart didn't knock that long red in, and Judd Trump is just one behind now. It's 14-13.
And getting very tense indeed. And we're just starting to see the odd dash of the flamboyant Judd Trump beginning to appear now.
I think he needs something a little bit of inspiration. Maybe that plant in the last frame has given him a little bit of oomph that he's been lacking, you know, this morning and tonight. And maybe, just maybe, we're seeing glimpses of Judd Trump.
Is it easy when you're out there and you see that kick and then you go in off on the next one, just needing that final red to get over the line, to start saying, oh goodness, maybe this isn't my night? How easy is it to try and put those negative thoughts out of your head?
I think the good players and the great players are able to do that, and I can only speak for myself. It is that next opportunity you get, you just play the shot that's in front of you. But I suppose you could argue that you know, it would be easier for the fans and friends of the players to start reading things like that into it. But you know, somewhere down the line, as Willie Thorne said, because of what happened, he then was presented with an easy chance. So you know, there's many things that happen in a game that you'd like to replay, and they're happening all the time in a match and in the tournament.
And to what extent now is this a real test of character? Does it change as we get towards the finishing line?
Well,
of the
it's a big frame for both players. You know, Stuart would like to still have that gap and, you know, still have the 2-frame gap going into this mid-session interval. But if Judd Trump should level, you know, then the pressure swings then back over to Stuart Bingham, and the momentum is with Judd Trump, you know, and you can tell by the crowd how they're really getting up for it. You know, they wanted to go. You can feel almost that they wanted to go right to the distance.
Oh yes, the noise levels are definitely increasing out there, Steve. How do you read this match and the way Stuart has started this evening, Steve?
Well, I think he's doing great. You know, it's a fantastically poised match. You know, 2 frames in it after 3 sessions is absolutely nothing. You know, Judd has done so well to keep in the game, but Stuart knows full well that he can still just play the game, because he's not like he's got a long lead he could throw away. He's still in sort of competitive mode. He's not near the finishing line yet.
Okay, well, this is the last before their mid-session interval.
Stuart in this match has never lost a mini-session. Well, I say the mini-session, the 4 frames before a break. He's either always won them 3-1 or drew them 2 each. And of course, this could be the key time if Judd Trump wants to make inroads into this match. If he wins this frame, he's won the mini-session 3-1 and levelled at 14 all.
That was a nervy safety shot from Stuart Bingham. Hasn't made many mistakes like that. Just got into that too much, but well, he could go into the reds, but I think he's got to make sure and pot this and just let the white do what it's going to do. Yeah, that was the best option. No point in trying anything difficult there, because the black wasn't all that easy.
8.
He's got a long straight red, and if he comes back, he's got a good angle to get into the bunch then. Well, it looks as if he's playing for the pink. That's a bad miss.
8.
That is a poor shot from Judd.
That can only tell me is just flicking a bit of side on Dennis. It was like a black off the spot, really, wasn't it? It was dead straight. Must have put some unwanted side on that to turn that red over. Stuart's finding it now, Dennis, isn't he? The tension's arriving, but the yellow just passed the blue, and he certainly didn't play for it in the middle.
He just didn't hit that as he intended. He would have been on the blue nicely. But he's got an angle to get up towards the red.
Now the angle is on this red. If he's going to play for the black, he has to just drop it in dead weight. He wouldn't really want to do that. I don't know whether he can run around the back of the black if he plays it firm.
I think if he runs it in...
Camera, can you turn it off, please?
Yeah, just a distraction there. If he runs it in, he might cannon the black and leave it on. Just looking at that angle. Not the best.
4.
He'd like that shot again, wouldn't he? Okay, the 7 points is nice, but there's no way he can get onto a red, so whether he play a safe off a bought colour or just take the 7 points.
Sometimes that happens. You know, you're not playing for any position and you lose a bit of concentration. He was just playing for the extra 7 points there. Just making sure there's no plants on. Always worth looking at the pack of reds. He's got an easy safety shot. Now he's looking to see if he's going to push a red over the corner pocket. Well, there is a possible plant on there, but can he get to that?
Yeah.
He certainly did get to it. Well, Judd had a plant in the previous frame and almost won the frame off the plant until he got that terrible kick on the red. How many is Stuart going to score from this plant? Yeah, this last 2 frames could be, well, a tale of 2 plants.
4.
Absolutely. The first one, as Dennis mentioned, should have won in the frame, but he did eventually win it. Can Stuart return the compliment? Black being off its spot is a problem because when you get if he plays for the black here, okay, we've just seen him miss a black because it's not a natural shot when it's off its spot. It's not going to be natural from high.
5.
This is not straightforward.
Well, he's been awesome throughout this championship with this type of shot, but the scenario is it's 14-13 in the semi-final. And he's still awesome with them. That was a terrific shot.
It's hard to explain how difficult they are normally when you're cutting it back into a blind pocket. That's Steve Davis. No, just got to mind his work now. The next 3 or 4 reds and colours should be okay. If he plays up for the blue or bought colour, make sure he finishes top side of the blue. That was the key thing, getting top side of the blue. He's perfect on the blue. The red in between black and that little cluster of 4 is the one he'd like to get onto now. He's not got onto it perfect, but he's got a second choice. This red's nice, and he can, I think, run through for the black.
18.
Oh, that didn't go clean.
19.
Just needs to just take a deep breath here. He knows this is a chance once again to level a mini session. Never been behind in any session. You can just feel the tension out there, Dennis, can't you? You can feel it in the room.
Well, I don't know if he got a kick. Let's
26.
have a look. Didn't seem to kick, but he's having the white clean. Maybe that's just to give himself a breather. There's a couple that's wiped their feet on the way in, but that one, well, maybe he did have a slight kick. It didn't look as if it kicked on that last picture, but it's back on its spot, and he's still at the table. That's the main thing from his point of view. As we said earlier, the mid-session interval coming up. Stuart's going along nicely here. Potting this next red is going to clear the 2 reds to the right of it, the little triangular reds behind the pink there.
Just had a little glance to see whether the pink would pot in the middle, because he hasn't got the ideal angle on this red. And if the pink doesn't pot, he's got a little bit of work to do with the cue ball. I don't think the pink pots. He's coming around to have another look now.
I mean, that would be the easiest positional shot, but he should be able to get himself onto the blue or run through. Well, it looks as if he might just go. But if he's not absolutely sure, he'll play for the blue or black.
He's not made up his mind, Dennis. That's the troubling thing, isn't it? You've got to clear your mind. Decided that the pink was
35.
too dangerous to play for, and I think he's judged this perfectly.
I mean, that red was almost straight, and look where he's got the cue ball. I mean, that shows you the cue power that Stuart has. He really powered that in to get the white there. Was he 31 points in front? So it has to be said, there's a pretty clear run
40.
To the winning line in this frame, but we've seen that black wobble, we've seen a red wobble. But he's held himself together
41.
throughout this championship, and in the final session against Ronnie O'Sullivan, he hardly made a mistake.
Yes, he's used to the winning line in tournaments now. He's won all his tournaments, as Dennis mentioned earlier, in commentary in Asia and that. 6 tournaments he's won now.
But every player, when they turn professional, they dream about lifting the World Championship trophy at the Crucible. And Stuart
47.
has been dreaming about that for 20 years. He's been a professional.
This, of course, clears the other red for this pocket. So now Dennis mentioned a
48.
clear run to the line. It is definitely a clear run to the line now. 44 points in front. Pink, red colour. And once again, he would have not lost a mini session in this match.
$54. $55.
And it all started with this terrific plant that he picked out. Just the black needed.
$62. 63.
Stuart's highest break in this match has been 89. He has a chance of eclipsing that here. He's only had 4 centuries so far in the tournament. He is one of the game's great break bowlers now. He's had 3
71.
maxims in tournament play. Not too sure whether he can just hold it. If he can't, he'll play a cannon into the pink. Yeah, he could hold it.
Well, he has made 38 centuries this season. He's 163 in total for his career.
$86.
The green to beat his highest break.
88.
The century, if it comes, will be the 77th.
And every time Judd
91.
asks him the question, he keeps coming up with the answer, Willie.
Yeah, you couldn't be more impressed with you if you're a Bingham supporter. He hasn't lost 1 mini session
95.
in this whole match. This is the first time he's been put under pressure and looked like he could possibly lose a mini session. This morning, when he was 2-0 behind, he won the next 2. Very well played. The crowd deserve a century, and the century they have. Remarkable from Stuart Bingham. Back against the wall, produced again a break of 106. Takes him 2 clear again at 15-13.
And how impressive is this performance from Stuart Bingham? It's his 5th of the championship so far. And what a time to do it. And I think Willie and Dennis have nailed this one. Every time Judd has got close to him, he's had an answer for him. And he keeps coming up with these answers, Steve.
Yeah, Stuart Bingham's stock as a competitive animal is rising all the time. You know, and along with that is newfound belief. Not that he didn't have any before. You know, we're talking about beating Ronnie O'Sullivan and what that's done for his confidence. But the way he's coping with everything that's being thrown at him, and I'm not talking about it's not an onslaught from Judd, but the way he's coping with, you know, the tension of being in front, you know, and expectations of getting close to the finishing line is admirable.
Absolutely. And, you know, in that match against O'Sullivan, he was 8-9 down. He won 5 frames in a row. It was a very emphatic victory in the end there.
And what a great confidence booster that gives you, you know, the belief, the self-belief to beat the top players at these top events. And, you know, out there, there's a lot of questions, as you say, being asked, and he's answered every one, but he looks like he's really enjoying it. You know, he's very comfortable. It doesn't look like... You're waiting for him sometimes to miss a few. He nearly missed the black. It wobbled a few times, dropped. You know, and sometimes you're always waiting, but it hasn't happened at all. He hasn't cracked, he hasn't buckled, and he stood up to the, as I said, to all the pressure that the Crucible gives you.
Are you detecting any signs as yet of frustration from Judd Trump? And is this about the time they might kick in?
No, I don't think so. I think Judd's doing what he's got to do. He's got to keep the heat on Stuart and hopefully he reaches boiling point, Stuart. But do you know what the difference if that black doesn't drop? I mean, how many times have we seen a black like that then stays or spits out from the pocket? And it's unusual to see a ball last that long in the pocket and then go, yeah, I'm giving up. But you know, that's the way. That's the, you know, this gravity took control, and it was obviously very close. But on another day, we'd probably all be going, he's feeling the heat. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, they've got a chance to think about this, but he's inching ever closer to this winning line of 17 frames right now. But the Crucible Theatre was full again this afternoon for a session that we assumed was going to be short but very sweet for Shaun Murphy, because he started in the final session against Barry Hawkins with a very, very emphatic lead, 16 frames to 8. But the world number 5, Barry Hawkins, was not about to go quietly, and he fashioned some good old-fashioned impressive resistance once again, knocking in a third century of the match. So it's 16-9 now, and we're going to pick them up in the next. It's Hawkins on a break of 44.
Nope. Always made it tricky.
Barry Hawkins.
Just didn't run through as much as he would like.
As you said at the start of the frame, he's got to play no-miss snooker. Really can't afford many mistakes. The only pot I can really see Shaun playing is the one to the left centre. He can play as a sort of shot to nothing. Leave the cue ball on this black cushion. He won't be leaving Barry anything easy. Should it go in? It's a great chance.
Yeah, he's now going to have a look at the balk end. And of course, this you can get overcautious, because last night he went completely the other way, didn't he?
Well, I can't for 1 minute think why he would not play this red to the left centre, bring the cue ball back to the black cushion. I mean, if you pot it, everything's there for you to win the match. Strange. For me, that's a strange choice of shot.
Well, he's got a good cue ball, but as you say, with the cushion he has, but as I say, probably brought about last night by coming out, treated it more like an exhibition match than the semi-final of the World Championship, and maybe his team behind him said, well, don't get embroiled into that type of snooker again.
No, you can go in the line of thought that just let my opponent make the mistakes. I'm bound to get a chance sooner or later.
Got to be careful here, just knock the black in. No, he caught it all right, a bit thick. Missed the blue. He needs the blue to help him here. Can he get past the blue? Well, he's eyeing up the pot, so I assume yes, he can. So that safety shot that he played has given him this chance.
One.
Well, if he went on form from the rest of the match, you'd say he's gone favourite for this frame now. He's not played that too well. And we'll say the hardest frame to win is the one for victory. Still quite easy just to hold for the blue off this red.
9.
It's gone a little bit far. maybe not completely at ease. Not the cleanest of pots, but he's okay. But I don't know what sort of
13.
ankle. He might have to play the two reds to the right centre, the one that's closest to the black end for the black here.
$14.
Well, he could play off the cushion the red that's to the left of the pink. Play a cannon on that. That would leave the two reds to the right corner. If he misses it, he's going to be in the one to the right centre.
$21.
And of course, if he can get through to his red, which he obviously can, it clears the path for the other one. It's just to the right of it.
22.
So no obvious hurdles to get over. Balls are in the open.
$29. $30. $37. $38.
He does look supremely confident going around the table, though, you have to say. And he has done the whole tournament.
Yes, I think he's at the peak of his
44.
powers at the moment. Very impressive in winning the Masters
45.
at Alexander Palace. And he's brought that form here to the Crucible Theatre. 1 point ahead now. So red colour, yellow, green, brown, blue.
50.
And he'll book his place in the final.
51.
And you have to say, John, if he keeps potting the long balls he's potting and scoring as heavily as he is, he's going to take some stopping.
So Barry Hawkins,
56.
well, disappointing start to the match, that's what did him, but fair play to him, he's dug in, and taking this to a fourth and final session was an achievement in itself. But I think he'll be sat there now,
58.
Stephen, thinking, I've played my last shot in this championship.
Yeah, Sean just potted that yellow with the rest. 100% rest success in this match.
61.
Just the brown.
Yeah, the brown will put him 21 points in front with 18 remaining, but a nice angle on the brown to be on the blue. And that's it.
65.
I'm sure he will say after the match that he was never concerned, but he will give every credit to his opponent for hanging on in there when
70.
all looked lost.
$76.
Sean
83.
Murphy is in the final of the Betfred World Championship 2015. A fantastic performance. Barry Hawkins, every credit for taking it to the final session. But from the early doors, it looked to be only one winner. And that is Sean the Magician Murphy. He's in the final. He runs out a comfortable winner in the end by 17 frames to 9 and will take all the beating from here on in.
Played some good stuff in the semi against Barry. Was always going to be a tough game. He's not world number 5 for nothing. and he showed his class last night by playing some fantastic snooker. And really, you know, really had to come out today and do a job. Came out today very focused, and although he won the first frame, when I got my chance eventually, I was very pleased with how I took it. It's been 6 years for me since I've been in the semis here, so to go through that, there's been lots of ups and downs amongst, you know, along that way. To come back and get through and have a sniff at getting my name on that trophy again is unbelievable. Can't wait.
Yeah, that's 10 years after he won it as a 22-year-old as well, echoing the great late Alex Higgins, who won it, of course, 10 years apart as well. But, you know, guys, that was also one of the greatest semi-finals we've ever witnessed. There were 8 centuries in it, and it equals the most number in any match in Crucible history. It was extraordinary stuff, wasn't it?
It was fantastic from both players, and but particularly Sean Murphy. His long ball potting, his confidence, the break building, everything, and his cue action is like Rolls Royce. You know, the reaction he gets on the cue ball. It's very hard to describe how good it is, but he's playing at the top of his game. I've not seen him play as well as this ever.
What's it going to take to stop him, regardless of who gets through here tonight?
Consistency, because otherwise he will steamroll you. I do think he's the straightest hitter in the game, and is effectively playing the type of snooker that won in the World Championship. Fearless, enjoying it, prepared to just take on shots that would be to other players pretty frightening, and just take the consequences on the chin if it goes wrong, but enjoy the thrill of going for the shot. And I think I always remember when I was playing, the best moments was you go, I'm going to go for that. And that's the right shot, and I don't care what happens. Yeah. And when you play like that, they go in. When you care what happens, they never go in.
But it also messes with the other guy's head, because can you describe how difficult that is to play against when you know nothing's safe?
Yeah, well, when you're playing against someone like that, it puts so much pressure every time you come to the table, from the start, from your break-off, from every safety shot. And when someone is putting pressure on your safety shot, you've got to be so precise. Sometimes the only safe place is like in your own pocket, on the table, because he's going to pot them from everywhere. If you give him any snip, you let him put his hand on the table, if the cue ball is not tight to that ball cushion, then 9 times out of 10 he's going to knock it in the long ball.
OK, I think we're all agreed whoever wins tonight is going to have their hands full tomorrow in that final. All right. Well, despite all the pressure and the tension of this high-pressure semi-final, I think we can release some of that tension with a little look back to 30 years ago to the black ball final. Oh, no, not that again, you're all saying, at least Mr Davies says. But no, this is a different take on it, Steve. You're all right. Do you remember that really easy thin cut to the blind pocket on the black ball? Yeah, OK. It's haunted you ever since. Well, tonight, Steve Davis gets his own back, because if it was that easy, you try it. At least that's what he's been asking some of our celebrity pals who played a frame with Mr Davis.
Do you remember the 1985 World Final, Rebecca?
I was only born 89.
Pardon?
I was only born in 1989.
That's a bit of a problem. What were you doing in 1985?
I weren't even alive.
No.
I don't think I was.
The most exciting apparent...
Trying to get confused now. I think it's like a trick question.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a trick question. The most exciting...
I was -5.
Everybody was there. Even people that were there that weren't even born, right?
OK.
People were there, apparently.
OK.
OK.
I was there.
I'm playing Dennis Taylor.
OK.
It's a best of 35 frame match over 2 days, the final of the World Championship. Finals got down to the last frame. It took 1 hour and 10 minutes to play, and it ended up on the last ball, the black.
No way.
Only ball on the table. Dennis had missed it and left the balls like that.
What, so you had to get the black in?
I had to get the black in to win the World Championship.
Yeah, but then if all the balls are there, surely...
No, sorry, all those balls are not on the table. So, no, apologies.
You said the balls are left like that.
No,
so
sorry.
Them balls.
Sorry. I forgot you weren't there. Sorry.
I was like, he's going to have to put a lot of balls, man.
Balls are black. What I'd like you to do is to imagine you're there, 2 days of the World Championship final, best of 35, 17-all, it's come down to the final black. I just want you to get up there and pot it.
OK.
With the cameras watching and people watching all around. No pressure. Try and pot it.
To win the world title. For the title. I would come down, I would take a little bit more time over it than you did, Steve, probably. I thought you were a little bit, I thought you rushed it a bit after all that time. Because it was late, wasn't it?
It was late, I was getting
you wanted to
tired.
go to bed.
I've got a little bit of a sweat moustache
I know,
going
I
now
know.
because I'm getting a bit.
I would
bit
go like that,
panicky.
but I don't want to. We're not that. I can't. I don't know you that well.
This is it. I'm not thinking about the money either.
I'll just get. You okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Did you do that?
No, the referee's not allowed to help you.
So I'm like sick, and I've got to try and score that.
Well, you're a bit nervous, and you've just got to knock that in to win the World Championship. I mean, do it Ream style, really, I suppose.
What, you want me to go there?
Yeah, do it as sick as you can.
What, so this is, if this was me, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, so I'd probably... Obviously, I know you're not going to help me, but I wouldn't go for that pocket.
What? Okay, fair enough. Why? For what reason?
Because I'd think I've got to, like, hit it, like, I don't know. I'll try to go for that one over there.
That's where I went wrong.
I don't even know what to do.
You've got to knock the black in the hole.
I can't... I don't even know.
I tried that, it didn't work.
Right, here
Is
we
it
go.
looking more difficult now?
Oh, it looked difficult from the beginning, don't get me wrong.
Oh, okay.
But then I'm not a professional snooker player. I would have thought you would have knocked it in with ease.
Yeah.
There it is. But, you know, some people have got a big match temperament, Steve.
Let's take it across... No, I think it's only fair. This is the first time this has ever been done.
You've never coached a pregnant lady, have you?
No, this is my first one. This is my first time. In a mirror image of the same shot.
OK.
OK, this is how it would appear in Australia. It would have looked to them like that.
OK, yeah,
So
that's
you've got
easier.
yeah, of course it is. Yeah. I'd have potted it if it was that side. That's the hard side.
Would it have been disrespectful if you'd done it one-handed?
It would have been a great ending. I never thought it. I might as well.
Can I have a go normal?
Yeah.
Can I go first
Have a
one-handed?
give it a chalk. But the...
I mean, I feel I have to after you've shown me how to play
I missed
one-handed.
it by so far that actually I might as well have played it.
You did miss it, what, so far, yeah.
How do you know? There's only two.
I know, but we've all seen it. They commemorate every 5 years, mate.
Just go, you know what, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to bounce it all around the table and hopefully it goes in one of the pockets.
Well, try it. See what happens.
That's what I'd say.
Have a go.
I'd have probably used that one. I can't. I might miss it, though.
Oh, well, it was a chance.
OK, shall
Yeah.
I just go for it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it, so either way.
Don't think negatively.
Oh.
I put some more chalk on. You must have taken some chalk off with that. OK. Try and hit the middle part of the ball. That's it. Down the middle bit.
I'm definitely...
Well, you've lost.
Is that what you did?
More or less. As well as. It may as well have been like that.
Right. So if this goes in one-handed, how are you going to feel?
Not good. Not good. Not good at all. Oh! It's safe. At least it's safe. Dennis couldn't have potted it from there.
Come on. That's what I was going for. That's what I was going for. Oh! Damn it.
Oh, congratulations.
So sorry.
What a shot.
So sorry.
What a shot. Yeah. And one of those, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they were all great sports, but I think Steve Davis is the greatest sport of all for letting them have a go, I think. Well played, Steve. All right, we're heading back to John Parrott, or as he's known here in the trade, King of Cushions. He's in match analysis mode for us now.
Yeah, and it's funny, Hazel, they say the stats don't lie. Well, maybe they tell the odd fib, because have a look at this. Nearly every department, look at this, 1,464 total points to Judd. He's leading Stuart Bingham by 10 points. He's potted 8 more balls than him. OK, the only thing, pot success, both on 88%. Long pot success, he's ahead of Stuart Bingham. Safety success, he's 9% ahead of Stuart Bingham. And his highest break is even higher than Stuart's, 113 to 106. So after all that, the only thing that really matters is there, 13-15.
Yeah, well, the stats tell one story, but the scoreline tells another, and it says that Stuart Bingham is 2 away from booking a place in a first Crucible final. So back we go to Willie and to the 1979 World Championship runner-up, Dennis Taylor. Steve told me to say that.
Don't you start, Hazel. I still think we've got an awful lot of snooker to be played in this semi-final. It has been fascinating. Players getting themselves ready, pouring their drinks of water out, and Stuart Bingham with that little smile on his face.
The 29th
I've seen that a few times.
Stuart Bingham to break.
This evening. He's enjoying every minute of this.
Stuart just 2 frames away from getting into his first World Championship final. Judd Trump has to win 4-1 in this session, and he hasn't won 1 mini session yet. Can he win the most important one?
Can you turn your mobiles off, please?
Yeah, back in after the mid-session interval. A few of the spectators probably ringing home, talking about the match, and then forget to switch the phones off when they come back in. Well, he nearly got another plant. He made a century break in the frame before the mid-session interval after he found a plant. He wasn't far away. This is a key shot early on in this frame. Is it there? He had to get this. He was sticking a red up next to the black. Not a good pack to go into from the black. And that's the reason. He's headed up for the blue.
9.
Okay. Didn't matter which side of the blue he got on there. But it'll be blue, red, blue, and into the pink.
$14. $15.
Key shot coming up full onto the pink. Pot the blue, scatter the reds. And how's your luck? He's just about okay. There's one that'll go into the right corner.
20.
Let me show you that again. Judd has been in the practice room throughout the interval, knocking balls in.
All the players seem to play that shot well in now, pretty well into the pink, but I think Judd Trump plays it better than most. Very rarely does he not generate the full wall kiss on the pink and generate the spin to keep the cue ball in the middle of the table. And because of that shot, he'd be disappointed if he doesn't score 50 or above from here.
$26. $27. $32. 33.
The standard in the last 3 frames, the Judd's had a break of 88. Then he had a break of 50 and 44 to get one behind. And then Stuart had that magnificent century. So the standard has been superb. And every chance in about 5 minutes' time, there'll just be 1 frame the difference again.
41.
Obviously, Stuart thought the plant was a certainty, otherwise he wouldn't have taken it on. But the problem was where he left the cue ball. He needed to finish low on the black, and he didn't.
48.
Hit it a little bit too hard, the plant. Just knocked the first red in the middle nicely, and the rest now are in a perfect position.
49.
So really, in the last 3 frames, you know, a plant shot has played a big part. So it's turning out to be a tale of 3 plants, believe it or not.
Perfect position shot.
52.
That's the kind of shots he's not been playing well. He's been losing the cue ball, either playing them too hard or too soft. That time, played perfectly.
53.
Points ahead.
60.
Red, colour red would be enough.
61.
As we get nearer the winning post of the semi-final, the players would be getting a little nervous, missing a few, but that's not the case. The standard has got better as we get closer to that winning line. Just been going over 7 minutes,
76.
and the frame is more or less over. Doesn't matter about that. Stuart will stay in his seat, I think. Yeah,
76,
signal to the referee. So he only needed 1 chance, Judd Trump, and he took it. And he's only 1 frame behind again. It's 15-14.
Oh my goodness, I hope you're enjoying your Saturday night with us here at the Crucible Theatre. There's nothing like it when we get to semi-final time. Significant for you, the fact that he went straight to the practice room and just got himself back into the rhythm again, Ken?
Yeah, some players like to go there just to loosen up their arms. Sometimes, you know, you feel that you're not just getting through the ball as well as they should do, or as they feel normally, so they try and just go there and loosen up, chat to their friends and just try and be relaxed, because sometimes when you're sitting in the dressing room, you're just sitting there and you're talking, you're still a little bit anxious, aren't you? Some players like it and some players don't.
I think it does depend on the situation. Sometimes you go to your dressing room, you're very happy with everything and how it's panned out. Other times you just feel as if you just want to get on the practice table just for 5 minutes. But I mean, very rarely do players go on for the whole length of time, but the modern day players sometimes do things differently from our era even. And yeah, from Judd Trump's perspective, he's really asking questions of Stuart Bingham, put him right on him.
Yeah. He sure is. And, you know, we talked about being subdued earlier in this match, but he seems to be coming out of his shell just a little bit now.
Brave as well. I mean, he took the first red on that break, rolled it into the middle pocket. If he misses it, he leaves Stuart right in. And then, of course, the blue to split the pack. Fantastic shot. So he's taking the shots on. He's not wilting, and he's not going to hold back either.
There we go.
Yes, he's not going to refuse anything now. Judd Trump won the first frame of this match. He won the 3rd frame of this match, and ever since then, he's been playing catch-up. That's what he's going to do again.
Wow.
Misjudged safety from Stuart.
Judd Trump full.
Judd's already had a look to see if the black was available, if he was to take this red onto the left corner, but, you know, sometimes he makes these look easy, but they're quite tough, I can tell you. Yeah. Quite tough. How well did he hit that? Obviously the black won't go. He was dead straight, and look at that screw back he got on that. And in a few shots time, the red that's next to the black might be available. He's already thinking about that, where he's placing the cue.
Yes, at first glance, Dennis, I can't say a red he can get on too easy, so he may decide to play for that red, but that would be out of a positional shot. He's played for it.
Oh, I'll tell you what. What an effort.
4.
Now is it time to risk? I mean, he's got himself back into the match again now. If he plays this red into the yellow pocket and stays for the black, there's so much pressure on it because he's going to leave the red just above the black.
I don't think the black goes, will he? Well, it does go, so yeah. That's a great shot. Where's that cue ball? 5. Wow, what a shot that was, Willie.
I didn't think he could see the red to pot it. He's decided, I think, to go for his shots now. He's now looking to see if a red, as we see that shot again, the one that's at on the far left-hand side, does that pass the black? That's the red he's looking at, and I think you can see the centre of the pocket, Dennis.
He would need to be right in behind it, though. It was pretty tight, that. He's only got the slightest of angles on the blue, but we know he's got lots of cue power. And look at the angle he created there from almost straight on the blue.
That's amazing. He's actually hit it too well. No, I think he can miss the black and go round the back of the black. No, he couldn't miss the black.
11.
Stuart Bingham had a very similar shot in one of the earlier frames and kissed into the black and didn't make it into a pottle position. Judd's not thinking of cutting this in, surely.
Yeah, he played to push the black on and just caught it a little bit on the right side rather than full ball, or slightly to the left would have been better. It's a very thin one if he wants to get back down the table. It was very difficult. That was all he could do there, really.
Judd Trump, 11.
Not the best safety shot from Stuart. Just overhit that, and this red might pot. He'd be playing the safety shot, but he did have a look at it. It's a better length from Judd, although there is a gap. For Stuart, he can come down that right side of the table as we look at it. He hit that a bit thick. It's going to come up short. And Judd might be able to take this red on to the right corner. He can get round the back of the red that's sitting on the black spot. Well, looks like he's just going to play the safety shot.
He's covered the right-hand side of the table up, so he can only play safe down the left. And well, the two reds you can see, neither of which are easy to get back into baulk without pushing a red over the corner. There goes the red, but he's played it pretty well. Bit pacey with the cue ball. We know what kind of shot Judd played in the previous shot. If you can cue this, he'll be taking this on.
Yeah, he hit that far too thin, Stuart. Where's that red going to finish? It's amazing, isn't it? He played it as a sort of a shot to nothing. He could have potted that and played on the pink. He thought, I'll screw back. If I get it, I'm on a baulk colour, thinking that he wouldn't leave the red, but watch the red. As it wobbles, it just heads up over the other corner.
Yes, more often than not, you cover them with a baulk colour, but that time it's finished. It's an easy pot for Stuart. The two reds that are just to the right of the black definitely pot obviously in the right hand side, but he's just looking about playing a little cannon, just missing the pink and just pushing one of those two reds to the left of the pink towards the corner. And of course if the kiss doesn't go right, the white should hopefully push through and be on the two reds just below the black spot. So there's a little bit of value in playing that cannon. That might have turned out to be perfect. So I think he's got a perfect angle on this red. He didn't play this cannon. He played in between the gap there for those red. He's just kissed there. But he's finished in such a way he can just drop this in and get on the black.
Seven.
Yeah, that last shot couldn't have worked out better, but as you say, Willie, he didn't get the cannon that he intended, and it worked out much better for Stuart. And all of a sudden, it's developing into a very good opportunity. He's just 2 frames away from the final.
$14.
Yeah, the black's tied up at the moment. Won't go into either corner pocket, but when he removes either of the reds, it will free up one of the pockets. He's doing the right thing here. He's not just rushing into it. He's making sure he plays the correct shot. You could see the action he got on that, because if he hits the other 2 reds, he's on absolutely nothing. He played that to perfection. And as I mentioned before, the standard as we get towards the end of this semi-final has been superb.
22.
Well, that was a good
23.
shot. I was holding my breath there because I thought, well, this is certainly playing the more difficult of the two reds. And when he played that little screw shot off the side of the pack, I thought he'd have played up for the pink. So he's determined to make this a frame-winning chance now. He's played all the right shots to get the balls in play. Can he complete the job?
$30.
Very, very impressed
31.
with Stuart Bingham. This is the biggest match of his career. Okay, he's won 2 world ranking titles, but this is the daddy of them all. This is the big one. All of a sudden you could hear a pin drop in the crucible. They know the importance of this frame.
38.
And you mentioned, Dennis, I wasn't commentating on it, but you were, the way he played in the final session against Ronnie O'Sullivan, where he never missed a ball.
39.
Is that going to be the case here?
You can see there he's playing into an area where he was going to leave himself a choice of reds.
46. $47.
Yeah, look at that shot there. Isn't that magnificent? As Stuart glances at the scoreboard and has the cue ball cleaned, working out how many he needs. Sometimes you're concentrating on that hard. You find it difficult just to reckon the score up. You don't have a running total. He's come up just a little bit short, but he'll free the other 3 reds, so as long as he's got a nice angle to...
54.
Well, he can screw back if he wishes there, you can see it, so didn't have to play that cannon.
55.
Won't need those 3 difficult reds, the pink, red and another colour. Would leave Judd needing a snooker, and this is superb from Stuart Bingham, it has to be said. Every time he's been asked the question, as we said before, he's coming up with the
61.
correct answer.
Yes, he's made many breaks over 60 in this tournament so far. This, for me, has been the best one because of the pressure he's under. Perfect angle on the pink, just to flick another couple of reds into play. Excellent, excellent. Deserves a century now.
$68.
Well, he's had 5 centuries so far in this year's Betfred World Championship. We've had 77, 83 is the record number of centuries made way back in 2009.
69.
Doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball here, just stun up and down. Finish for the 2 reds just below the pink into the... Well, he's able to play it slow enough.
Well, Judd Trump, he's going to have to
74.
win the 3 remaining frames. We've seen him come back against Ronnie O'Sullivan in the UK Championship. This is even bigger. He'll have to do it again.
Yes, he's very capable, but Stuart Bingham knows he only needs 1 chance in any of those 3 remaining frames to
82.
go on to reach his first World Championship final. And this break has been absolutely
83.
perfect. He's played this break. Had to play a lot of little cannons early on in the break.
$88.
He just looks so comfortable and so relaxed out there.
90. $93.
Little glance up there we noticed when he was walking around, probably to his wife who's sitting up in the top there.
Yeah, Michelle's here. She was in tears the other night when
97.
he beat Ronnie, or he was in tears speaking to her, but she'll be so proud of her husband, I can tell you.
In goes a century. Absolutely first class. The turn-up signs around the audience go up. Massive kick there, but that won't worry Stuart Bingham. He's absolutely tremendous break. Stuart Bingham wins it. He goes 16-14 in front. One away from a place in the final.
Goodness me, and that's at 2 centuries and 3 frames for Stuart Bingham, and he is striding towards the line now, you got to say. And it's also the 78th century here as we move inexorably, it would appear, towards a record-breaking number of centuries in the championship. It's 2009 that 83 were made, but I've got to say to Ken and Steve here, it's so impressive, and it's hard to believe he's the rookie in this semi-final situation. He's the one acting like a veteran out there.
Yeah, and I hope Stuart Bingham friends and family and fans don't think I'm being rude, and I'm certainly not. I didn't know Stuart Bingham was this good. I really didn't know he was this good. I know he's won tournaments and that, but this is astonishing. What a performance under the severest of tension out there, and also being asked all the questions by Judd Trump, who hasn't gone away. That's so... What a break.
Yeah.
What makes those breaks at these moments in time so impressive?
Well, you haven't seen him twitch. I mean, this is the semi-final of the World Championship. This is the biggest match of his life. You haven't seen him had a real twitch up. You know, you're expecting it all the time, but he hasn't had it, and he's kept himself so calm, so cool, and really confident. I mean, that was a really good break while he was under it, because Judd Trump has put it up to him. To get within one, you know, but every time he just keeps, every time he gets a chance, he looks like he's going to win the frame from one visit, and he hasn't twitched at all.
And what he's done is he's paid his dues, travelling around the world, tournament after tournament, even in the Asian PTCs. He has put himself out there all the time, and he is hardened, totally match hardened. Not saying the others aren't, but he has raised, he's dragged his game up, he's dragged his competitive standard up.
Totally agree. It took him to the age of 35 in 2011 to win his first major event in the Australian Open, and from then he's a late blossomer in this sport. It's
I'd love to see
extraordinary.
his air miles account.
I hope he's going to get upgraded after this performance.
He hasn't won it yet, though.
No.
Absolutely. There's a long way to go, potentially. Judd Trump's still out of the arena, and obviously now Judd Trump clearly is under a huge amount of tension.
It's no miss.
How does he respond? How would you respond?
Well, it's no miss snooker. There's a lot of pressure, but I mean, he has responded before. There's no doubt about that. I don't think Judd is going to flinch, but he's just got to be so careful. First chance, safety shot, everything has got to be perfect from here on in.
And Stuart Bingham will know this is one of the most dangerous players under pressure that we've ever seen. Ronnie O'Sullivan says he's even more dangerous when he's 2-3-4 behind.
Yeah, and as we know and see so often, anybody that's watched World Championship snooker over the years, this frame's the toughest one to win.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Well, if anybody knew that, it was Steve Davis. It certainly is the toughest frame to win, and the biggest frame of Stuart's career, it has to be said. Can he do it in this frame, or will Judd come storming back? Fascinating. Oh, a long way off that, and he's put the red on. A long way off the attempt there. An early chance for Stuart. Look at that bunch of reds, as Willie said. That's a flat back pack, and it's difficult to bring them into play. But if anyone can, it's Stuart Bingham with his cue power. But that's not a good angle. He might have to leave it. Yep, lots of the reverse side. Look at the spin he got on that. right down the left side of the cue ball, striking there. And here we go again.
Nice.
If this works, have a look. Make sure there's no plants. Straight into the pink. How are these going to finish here? He played it well, but has he stuck on that red? He's been unlucky, I think. Oh, look at the face Stuart's pulling.
14.
The crowd respond to that grimace there. Oh, he knew that that was just a fraction of being absolutely perfect.
Wanted to cry, didn't he? I don't blame him, because bar it being touching ball, no problem, just pot it, screw back for the pink, and another 40 or 50 points there for the waiting. Not now, though. Has to play a telling safety shot.
Somehow, it's never that easy, is it? That frame you need. It's amazing the things that can go wrong, and I mean, that was very unfortunate. So it is a touching ball, so can he find an awkward spot?
Stuart Bingham, 14.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing wrong with this touch. Look where he found the cue ball right on the cushion. And that's a nice gesture. Judd Trump tapped the table there to acknowledge that last shot from Stuart. Must find the gap between those two reds, the left side of the table. He hasn't found the gap, and there's a long straight red. Now what a test this will be for Stuart Bingham's cue action. Either of those reds are a big test at this stage.
Surely he's going to have to play the left of the two reds, but he's not.
Foul.
That's what I mean. Why has he not played the left of the two reds?
Judd Trump, 6.
That was just pure tension, because he hit it a lot harder, and I think he threw the white into the pink before he got there, but he thought, if I can get this and leave the pink for the left middle, I'm right in amongst them. That is tension, Willie.
Absolutely, couldn't agree with you more, but he could have got on the pink in the right middle. It's amazing what tension does for you, pressure. Now, Judd, can you do it from here?
Well, I don't know about you watching at home. My hands are starting to perspire here in the commentary box. This is a chance. Look at the reds. Can Judd hold himself together and knock in a sizable break here? Because one mistake, one careless shot, and it could be all over for Judd.
Yes, black must be extremely tight into the right-hand corner. That's why he's trying to free the black into the left-hand corner. Probably play it for the blue from here. That's not good. No. Almost, unless he plays the yellow, he can't get onto a red easy here. The yellow's the only ball that gets him onto a red, or obviously the blue, but the blue's very tricky.
14.
Prolonged round of applause for that shot, but the black has gone near the cushion. I think he can get the one on the black spot and drop in behind the black. He would have very little to do with it to leave the other red. It's to the right of the black.
15.
Well played. That was a better shot than it looked, because he wanted to be straight on that black
22.
to leave the red that's to the right side of the black there, but he coped well with that. This looks a bit pacey to me.
23.
He's okay, because there is reds near the pink spot. And I think he's got a slight angle on the blue.
I think Judd stopped in his tracks. He thought he'd got a bounce off the cushion, but it's absolutely finished perfect. He thought he was going to come top side of the blue there.
$28. $29. $34. 35.
Still in perfect position here.
$42. 43.
You heard Hazel say in the studio that Ronnie O'Sullivan said this
50.
player gets better when he's behind.
Sure.
He's certainly proving
51.
that here. He's had a kick, which means he's a little straighter on the black than he would have been. He's 43 in front. Black will make 50. So just a few more pots needed to keep himself in this year's World Championship.
Yes, in the previous frame we were waxing lyrical about Stuart Bingham under pressure, compiling that wonderful break of 102. What we'll be saying in a few minutes' time, if Judd Trump makes this a frame-winning opportunity from here, which it looks like he will do now. This has been fabulous, this break.
59.
Just one more pot needed to leave Stuart at the snooker's required stage.
64. 65.
Well, Willie, that red that Stuart took on and hit the pink when you thought he could take the other red
72.
has proven to be very costly. That was just pure tension.
73.
But this is superb. It really is. Just ran slightly out of position there.
80.
He's had 8 centuries so far this
81.
year. We've had 78, as Hazel was saying, in between frames there.
86.
Getting closer to that record
87.
of 83 centuries. And watch this positional shot here to get on the yellow. Needs to pull up now, and it's perfect.
And Dennis, this could be 3 centuries
94.
in 4 frames. Right at the nitty-gritty stage of the match. Amazing snooker.
96.
You got to give both players credit. It really is a fabulous
99.
display these two players are putting on here this evening. Well played, Judd Trump.
103.
Tunnel. Great shot. Wow, we had everything in that. Let's have a naughty pink.
108.
From Judd. This might jump off the table. There, well, nearly jumped off the table. A little exhibition shot there, but the standard continues. What an unbelievable 108 break. And it keeps Judd Trump in this semi-final. There's the scoreline, 16-15.
Ooh, 3 centuries in 4 frames, and Stuart Bingham, 1 good split, potentially away from the final. And what luck, or lack of it, in this shot.
Yeah, he played exactly the same shot as Judd Trump a couple of frames before, and Judd got a great split, and Stuart hit him just as well, didn't he, Ken?
Yeah, I mean, he was so unlucky. The red in the corner, he was almost on. The red into the right centre. Any of those reds on, and he could have made a frame winning and a match winning break with that. But also there was the other shot where he had the red, and this is maybe a little bit of pressure. He has 2 reds here. He has the one that's close to the pink, but he also has the other red as well, just to the left of the pink, which is straightforward. He thought he was on this red. He's pushed a little bit aside onto the cue ball, and watch what happens. Just a little bit aside. A little bit of left-hand side, and he's gone into the pink. But what a break from Judd Trump under severest of pressure to keep so calm, so cool. It was fantastic. Great stuff.
Whereas we're mopping our brows, it's fantastic stuff, isn't it?
What a game of soldiers, isn't it? I mean, like, it's sort of, we've had lots of exciting matches, we always do, but this is worthy of a semi-final, worthy of a final. Obviously, the other semi-final was a bit one-sided, even though there was lots of century breaks in it. But this has got everybody buzzing. I'm sure from both fans' perspective, their nails are completely bitten. Whoever wins it will be one of the proudest men on the planet.
Don't go anywhere, because this has got some mileage yet, you fancy?
I do, Hazel. This has got all the makings, hasn't it, of a 16 all game. But Stuart Bingham, we're just hoping for one more decent chance. Doesn't want it to go all the way, obviously.
Well, earlier in this championship, he was taking this type of shot on, and looking at the angle, he might cannon the red that's to the right of the black. And he's took a few on, and he's pulled them off, but well, this is a totally different scenario now. But he's going to carry on. An important early shot coming up. Once he missed the pot, it could have pushed that red on, but I don't think Judd can see the one up to the right of the green. I don't know if he can see enough to take the pot on. Might be able to send it back up the table.
This was the one that cost him the last frame, the one to the left. If it had took the one to the left, it would have been perfect on the pink in the right-hand middle. Oh, this is a good safety shot. I say that, I thought it was going to roll to the baulk cushion. The red's not on the left-hand side, but surely too dangerous to take the one down the right, because he'd be crewing into reds. Safety shot coming up.
I'll tell you what, that was a good safety shot. Acknowledged by Stuart because he got so close to that red. He judged that to perfection. You watch the side he has on this and watch how close he goes to that red on the right side. Oh, well judged.
The crowd are deeply involved in this game, as you'd expect, and they would love to see a 60-0, but Stuart Bingham fans wouldn't want to go there. The theatre of dreams. It's here again.
Black is okay. It's available into the left corner pocket, so it's not out of commission. The pink is.
A couple of attempts, Dennis, the one into the middle, one into the corner, but not at this stage, maybe.
That's brought the pink into play. Judd is not going to take anything reckless at this stage. He's going to try and play some good tactical and safety play till he gets a proper chance.
There's one thing for certain, Stuart Bingham would have never played a safety shot under this much pressure.
Just a little bit pacey. And as I say, that black goes, what a shot this would be for Judd Trump to take on. There's a red into the right corner pocket. The pink's on, the black's on. He's steadying himself up. He's walking into the shot. He's going for it.
One.
Well, if he stops the white where the red is, he's on the pink or black. But he played it in such a way that he might get a bit of safety. But how well did he hit that? And if he's got an angle on the yellow, he can get up to the reds. And the chance is not there. 6 or 7 loose reds.
3. Well,
he's striking the ball as well now as he has done throughout this semi-final. Can he keep it going though? Just a little bit of adrenaline there. He's overscrewed that
9.
as he looks away. He can still pot it, but I don't know if he can screw past the reds. He might have to go straight into them here. Well, that's a terrific shot, but the next one, he's going to need a little bit of help. He's going to need the spider. He's going to need, well, the extended spider to get over those reds and pink. That is awkward. That is very awkward.
It's a lot higher than the spiders we used to play with, there, isn't it? Having the cue really right down and well played. That was horrible.
See, Judd uses the rest on the spider with his right hand.
17.
Well, just look at those reds. Absolutely amazing, this semi-final.
I thought the Robertson-Hawkins game was unbelievable, that went to 13-12. The standard was every time somebody got in, they got 70 or 80. This, under this pressure, is amazing.
25.
Judd's had 108 in the last frame. He's had a 76. And Stuart Bingham's
31.
had 2 centuries.
32.
Well, Stuart knows that he could be going into a deciding frame. He's showing so much character here as Judd Trump.
39. 40.
It's as if the great players have an inner strength that kicks in under these conditions.
$47.
What a run of high breaks we've had in this match.
Well, it would have been a worthy final, wouldn't it? And I'm sure Sean Murphy will be somewhere watching this.
54.
I've just heard
55.
in my ear, believe it or not, Sean Murphy is in the practice room.
Sure, keeping an eye on the big screen that we have in there.
Just got into that too much. He wanted to be straighter on this red.
61.
Safely in the center of the pocket though.
62.
Just look at the focus on Judd Trump's face there. Just a little cutback on this red.
67.
And we're going to be into a deciding frame. What a match. And it's there.
68.
The crowd determined and wanting to see another frame, and barring snookers, it looks like they're going to get that deciding frame.
Yeah, quick glance at the scoreboard.
Blue ball.
Stuart might have come back to
73.
the table, but after that fantastic blue, he'll stay in his seat. This is awesome at the moment for from the juggernaut.
74.
Oh, that might just spoil the century.
81.
That doesn't really matter.
Then goes the plant.
82.
And could we possibly have 4 centuries in 5 frames?
Well, I've never known it at this stage of the World Championship for 4 centuries and 5 frames to be made. It's still going to be difficult, but it's still
88.
a possibility.
It's there.
89.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Very well done, Judd Trump. You couldn't have been under more pressure at any stage in your career than you have been in the last half an hour or so.
96.
And what have you done? You've made back-to-back centuries if this next colour goes in. Remarkable.
Absolutely incredible.
102.
Willie will have to fasten our
104.
seatbelts for the final frame.
$107.
I mean, I'm almost having to pinch myself to think what's happening in this match. And Stuart Bingham must have just thought, well, I'm surely going to get a good chance.
111.
Well, that's a good point, because that's all Stuart will want in the final frame. You just want one chance.
116.
Will he get it?
This for a 15 red clearance. Keep an eye on the cue ball. Absolutely top draw. Magnificent break. 129. We're in for a decider in the semi-final of this year's Betfred World Championship. Both players leave you with a tour end for a breather. We need a breather in the commentary box. Quite fantastic. Unbelievable.
4 centuries in 5 frames. Back-to-back centuries for Judd Trump. All square. And we are heading for the 7th final frame decider in Crucible history in the semi-finals. And believe it or not, the last one featured this man here, Shaun Murphy, who was up against Mark Selby in 2007. And Shaun, of course, is practicing away there with his coach, Chris Henry, and he awaits the winner of this final frame decider all these years later. It's a best of 33 frames match over 3 days. And would you believe it, Stephen Ken, it all comes down to the very last frame. These are special, special moments we are enjoying tonight, aren't they?
What a performance from Judd Trump, back against the wall. And what an opening red. I mean, he could have played it for the pink, but he screwed back, got into it too much, screwed it right back into the ball, got on the yellow, and it's just fantastic. Great snooker. I mean, we're so excited here watching it, and it's brilliant. Absolutely top quality.
Just a soft screw back behind the yellow. It was nothing much, was it, Steve?
It's the ultimate in brinkmanship from Judd Trump. And Stuart Bingham is sitting in his chair. He's been so unlucky in the last frame when he had that chance to split the pack open, it went wrong. Then he's missed one ball other than that. He's played superbly well. Stuart Bingham will remember this match for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. The most exciting match he's ever been involved in, and one of the most exciting matches ever here. Whether it's for the right reasons or the wrong reasons in the end, whether he wins or loses, it remains to be seen. But he's added to this in a way that I don't think anybody could have believed. It's such well set up.
I think it's important also to say that both of them have held their nerve fantastically well.
Absolutely.
This is not as a result of one folding or the other.
No.
They've both played beautifully to this point, Ken.
No, there hasn't been a litany of mistakes whatsoever. Both of them have played to the best of their ability. There's no doubt about that. And what an exciting final frame we are in for. The crowd are loving it. And I tell you what, Steve and I are loving it here as well.
Brilliant sportsmanship. Shake of the hand. Here we go. It all comes down to this.
Stuart Bingham to break.
Yeah. What a reception there for both players, and Stuart Bingham still had that little smile on his face.
I don't think I've seen a standing ovation for a final frame before, but 50% of the audience was standing up there as both players came back into the auditorium.
Well, who is going to get the first chance here? Surely he's not looking at putting a red onto the black and planting the red into the right corner pocket. He did try it, believe it or not. He had safety in mind, but he eyed that plant up. So who is going to get the first chance?
One player might have the ultimate elation in a few minutes' time, and the other player will have the ultimate disappointment.
Just a gap past the pink to flick off the reds. It's coming up a little bit short. But there's nothing easy there for Judd to go at. Well, could we possibly, after having 4 centuries in 5 frames, have a tactical deciding frame? It doesn't matter what sort of frame we get, it's going to be exciting.
He's just itching to take this red on, but there's no path back into balk. He's just looking if there's a gap. There is a slight gap there, but it's one of those gaps. If you get the pot, you get the gap, but is it worth the risk? Because if you miss the pot, you're going to career into reds.
Well, look at that beautiful Crucible Theatre. Look at how the balls are situated.
He's having another look at that gap I talked about a few moments ago. But if he goes through the gap, I'm not too sure that he can miss the 2 reds that are on the cushion.
Well, the yellow's slightly in the way. It's hampering his cue action there.
Wow.
Well, it's not all that bad. He wanted a thinner contact on that, but he's got everything safe. That's one way of getting that cue ball back up the table. He wanted a thin snick on this, but he'd rather have it in the pocket than wobble in the jaws and stay there.
With his hand on the table, though, Stuart has the first chance of playing a very telling safety shot here. all about missing blue and brown in playing this next safety shot. Be playing thin off this red he's closest to. Like to get in between the gap of the brown and green. I suppose you could play the one just below the pink, but then of course you'd have to miss the kiss on the green if you play that one. Whichever red he decides, can't afford to hit a baulk colour.
We could finish up with quite a long tactical frame, as I mentioned earlier, after all the fireworks and both players having 2 century breaks, but you never know how the frame is going to pan out. This could be tension all the way. It seems a pretty straightforward shot, just to run up between the green and brown. I know he's trying to find a very awkward spot, but it's pretty straightforward, you'd have to say. And in the end, he's hit the green after thinking for so long about it. Just the 4 points on the score. That was from the in-off that Judd had. I mean, the last frames, they were all very quick frames, the last 4 or 5. There's 2 reds he's looking at. I don't think they're a plant. He's having a glance. That's the 2 that Stuart was looking at. I'll tell you what, they're going to the left of the pocket, but he'd have to hit the left side of the first red to be able to squeeze that. So it's not on from where he's sitting. What has he spotted? Because he's marching around the table there. Can he make that plant, do you think? And that is very unlucky, because he did pick out a little beauty there. Why, how did he get through that gap? And he's unlucky to finish where he has. The brown will cut back in.
Sorry, Dennis, yes, I was just going to say it's Stuart who's got the first chance, but not a great scoring chance where the pink and black are. There's a little bit of mileage in playing the brown into the pocket and trying to just play the little cannon into the red and pink. It's on from there.
And it's all about the brown here. Right in the centre of the pocket. How's the cue ball? Oh, I think he's unlucky, you know. I don't think he's dropped on anything. Now, what does he see into that corner pocket? Well, if he takes that on, he's going to screw back with a little bit of safety in mind. I mean, we've seen 2 frames, one with plants, and there's another.
6. Slightly the wrong side of the blue, but has a very good angle on this blue to play in between green and brown. 2 cushions for those reds to the left of the pink. Until he gets the pink or black into play, this is not ideal.
How's your luck this time, Stuart? Might be on the one to the right of the black spot. But where does the colour come from? He might just have a gap, you know. If he pots this red, he's looking at it. That's the gap that he's looking at, so he might be able to get back up towards pink or blue. The pink's tied up, but the white will be coming towards that red and pink.
If he plays it plain ball, then I think he can kiss into the red and pink. Is that worth the risk? Doesn't want to put any side on at this stage of the game, do you, when he's playing with the rest?
If he pots this plain ball, he'll find the gap, and every chance that he could get through the other little gap near where the cue ball is, or cannon into the red and pink. But make sure of the pot. He's played it with side, which made the pot more difficult.
12.
He still looks pretty calm and collected, as Stuart Bingham, has to be said. He's looked like that throughout the whole of this year's World Championship. The biggest frame of his life.
The blue's available into the corner or the middle. Middle is his choice.
It's amazing. The crowd knew that that blue wasn't in. The crowd that were in line with the middle pocket knew before we did.
Stuart's had one chance. Judd now has his chance.
Well, what a bounce he's had off that cushion there.
1.
He didn't expect the white to come this far up the table.
Yes.
He's asking for the cue ball. He's just looking at the cushion there. Did get a fast bounce off it. It wasn't the baulk cushion, it was the side cushion that flew off. Look at that. But he can get onto a red from the blue without any problem.
Can he get onto this red with an angle to bring the pink into play? That doesn't look any good, is it?
Tell you what, Willie, that was just pure adrenaline, because there's a couple of reds will go into the left corner pocket.
6.
And he just hit that far too hard. Those reds to the left of the pink were available. That was just pure adrenaline that caused that.
Stuart sitting in his chair would imagine that he's going to come back to the table after the next shot unless Judd decides to play this very dangerous red.
He's got a kick. He's got a horrendous kick. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, the red jumped and straightened up.
And worse still, the pink's now available into the right-hand middle pocket, but I don't think he's got an angle on the red to be able to get onto that. He may have to play up for blue or bought colour off the red in the middle. It's all about the red next to the pink. If he can go red colour and then get onto that red next to the pink, he'll have a chance to win frame and match. The wrong side of the blue, though.
But at least with those two reds to the left of the pink, you can still leave a medium length pot. I'm not sure if they'll both pot. One of them certainly will. So which of those two reds are available?
6.
He's coming around to see if he can get on the pink.
Just looks like he can play a little stun run through to get onto the pink in the middle. He's played it nicely.
7.
This will just flick the other red away from there. So there's still 3 or 4 reds available. Just the gentlest of flicks on that red. Pink having to go on the black spot.
13.
Not a bad thing. It's still available into the right corner.
Steve Davis came up with a great point in the studio when he was saying that Stuart Bingham is so match hardened. He's played in every single tournament.
Yeah, but he hasn't played in anything like this, the semi-final of the
14.
World Championship. He's waited 20 years for this chance. One of the best liked players on the circuit.
Another example of tension there. Played for the blue in the middle. Look how far he's overscrewed it.
And you were right down the cue action there, and it's gone wrong. Now he's looking at the cushion as well.
18.
Just because of the red, Dennis, 2 up from the reds in the left-hand side, he'd like to play the white over the left-hand side, just in case he missed this. Because if he plays it plain ball for yellow or brown or even the blue, if he misses it, that red will be on. He's playing the cut. This is a bit tricky. Very well done. How's the cue ball?
He needs a favourable kiss.
19.
And he hasn't had it. Well, he's looking to see if he can get to the potting angle of the green, but I can see him just stretching his neck there. That's an indication of how tense it is out there.
Well, the cut yellow, the white's going to be careering around the table. Obviously, the one red in open play, the one just below the pink will pot in the right-hand corner. So if he does screw the yellow in, 3 cushions, he can get onto that red next to the pink.
Well, he's definitely looking at the angle of the yellow. This is a brave shot to take on at this stage. That was the thinnest of snicks there. Not easy to control the cue ball.
It's amazing, Dennis, how he underhit that. You'd think he'd bound to come higher than that.
Right in the centre of the pocket again.
32.
Now this 32-point lead where the balls are is probably equivalent to about 60 or 60-point lead with balls in open play. So just got to not miss anything easy.
Hasn't quite got into that. He played for the one that's next to the pink. But it's quite understandable.
27.
And Judd knows that it's not straightforward here for Stuart, but if that white had a run to where he wanted, he could have potted the red and opened things up, but he come up quite a way short.
If he's not going to play the pot, I think he should try and play safe off a different red, because the black's tied up at the moment with that red being where it is. But if he's going to play the pot, that's okay.
If the red is tight on the cushion, it's slightly easier. You can play it with the side. Well, it's absolutely frozen on that cushion. So if you hit the cushion and the ball at the same time, every chance you could cut it in, but boy, you'd have to be very precise.
Would you want to leave that red there, Dennis, with the black being out of commission?
Stuart Bingham, 27.
It's not a snooker, and as you said, Willie, that has freed the black up. Thought long and hard about trying to chip the red in, and then, but we've got fun and games now because there's a red up the other end of the table.
Stuart didn't gain any advantage from that last shot he played. In fact, you know, he's made it slightly easier. That 37-point lead with the black safe as well was colossal. Not so big now.
I mean, he can get past the green to hit the cushion with side, but the only problem with that, see where he's got the cue there, the only problem with that, the red could collide into the brown or yellow, so you're going to have to get this one spot on, Stuart. If he misses the brown or yellow with the red, it's a good shot.
Played the shot very well, but he has left a tempter for Judd. Decided to wait for a better chance. Stuart Bingham now would wish that red was still to the left of the black and tight on the cushion.
Well, is Judd going to get a chance to get back into this deciding frame? As we've said a few times, 4 centuries and 5 frames, and now this tactical battle to see who can get themselves into tomorrow's final. I think that's okay. Everything's covered into that right corner. Well, is it? Judd's having a long, hard look. Yeah, I think they're all blocking each other. can see nothing available. Final starts at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Which of these great players is going to be taking on the magician, Sean Murphy, who was in the practice room at 10 to 10 in the evening? Do you think he's up for it? Well, you can hear a pin drop in the Crucible Theatre now. Little did this audience think we were going to go down to a deciding frame. It's trying to find a spot that'll make it awkward, but that red up past the yellow, spoiling things. Starting to open up. Well, I don't know if he can get past the pink, Willie. There's a red that might possibly cut into the pocket, but it's not the sort of shot you'd want to be taking on at this stage. But he's looked at it. He's looked at it a couple of times.
Can he get through to it?
Well, he got down there as if he was going to take it on, but he can see enough of it. But it's such a difficult, surely not at this stage. I don't know if he's trying to just hide the white in behind the black. Couldn't really get the snooker. It was just a containing safety. No, not that plant, surely.
I suppose the only thing that could be in his favour, if he does play the plant, he can rest on the other red and not leave anything on.
Wow. What a shot. What a shot. Fun.
Look where the cue ball is, though, Dennis. Should he have missed it?
But listen, those are tough enough to pot without planting one onto the other. That was a terrific shot. He's hampered slightly here, but well, I think Judd will be in shock after he's seen that plant go in.
He gets nicely onto this red. He could get into the final of the World Championship. It's there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Stuart Bingham. As he looks round at the scoreboard, he's had at least 4 plants in the last 5 or 6 frames. He's picked out some beauties, but that could be the key to him getting into the final.
Nine.
And Stuart's team will be backstage. Everybody's palms will be perspiring. Steve Feeney has worked with Stuart for a few years now, and he's had so much success, but this will be his greatest ever win. 49 ahead, just the red, and any colour. And Judd Trump, well, he come back to level at 16 each, but look at that picture. He was odds-on favourite to lift the title after Ronnie went out, but Stuart Bingham had other ideas. Absolutely brilliant.
18.
This likeable player deserves everything he gets, and he must, the
19.
feeling that inside is unbelievable. I don't know what he played to get on there. I think, well, Judd
Stuart Bingham, 19.
is coming to the table, but barring snookers, he's conceded. What a match these boys have provided for us. Unbelievable snooker. Judd Trump come back and give us a deciding frame. And this crucible crowd are giving Stuart Bingham a standing ovation. And doesn't he deserve it? What a performance. He gets himself into the final of the World Snooker Championship for the very first time. 17-16. Fantastic, boys.